Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. I've been down here at the range doing a little bit of shooting this evening. I was cleaning up and I had my camera in my kit, so I thought I'd go ahead and get it out and make this video to answer a question that I had gotten in a video that I posted several weeks ago. Now I did answer the comment in writing as best as I could, but I thought it was worth making a video over. In that video I was shooting my 44 Magnum and zeroing it, and I had mentioned that I was shooting some of my hand loads. Someone commented and asked me, what are hand loads? What's the difference in hand loads and reloads? I thought that was a fair enough question. You know, being around reloaders and people that shoot all the time, you kind of pick up on the lingo and you just think that everybody else knows what you're talking about, and that's not always the case. I've got a lot of new shooters, a lot of people that shoot but don't reload that follow this channel, so I thought it was worth explaining. So, typically a hand load is a load that's loaded for precision or high performance. It depends on if it's a load for like long range target shooting or if it's a load for hunting. In hunting, you may tip the balance toward high performance and sacrifice a little accuracy, where in long range shooting, you may want a bullet that might not be the greatest bullet for hunting, but you can fine tune it for long range, getting those really small groups. And a lot of times hand loads will be tailored to a specific firearm. You know, they'll work up a load in a specific firearm and get it just fine tuned. They'll call that their hand loads. Whereas reloads, typically, now I'm painting with a broad brush here, but typically reloads are done more for high volume shooting, for economical reasons, you know, not necessarily to save money, but to shoot more with the same amount of money that you would have had extra to spend on shooting anyway. Typically you can shoot a lot more with reloads for the same amount of money that you could with factory ammunition. So especially nowadays, but I'd hate to be trying to get started into reloading right now. It's a mess. That's something that you needed to get into several years ago. I don't know if it would be even worth the effort right now, the way components and things are, the price gouging on primers and things like that. But I digress. That would be a whole different video. That's not helping my cause here on what I was explaining between hand loads and reloads. If we look at the Hornady manual, that's what they define hand loading as. Hand loading, the process of manually assembling a cartridge case with primer, propellant, a bullet, or wads and shot. So with that definition, all reloads could be called hand loads, and some people use the term that way. But not all hand loads are reloads. More to my point, back to that video that I had made, I called these hand loads. I've got some just like them here. These are the exact same recipe, but I would refer to these as reloads. This I would refer to as a reload, and this as a hand load. They're both a high performance load. This one is a 240 grain Hornady XTP bullet over a hefty load of H110, and so is this one. It's the exact same thing. So why would I call this one a hand load and this one a reload? I know some of you guys already know, but the reason that this is a hand load and not a reload, and it can't be called a reload, both can be called hand loads, but this one cannot be called a reload, is simply because it's never been loaded before. I loaded this batch from newly manufactured brass. None of these components have ever been fired before or loaded before. In order to reload something, it would have to been loaded the first time. So that's why I referred to these as hand loads. And I could also refer to these as hand loads. But typically, if I were doing a video and shooting these, I'm more likely to call these my reloads. But I hope that helps. Sometimes I'm not the best at explaining things, and especially in writing. When I was trying to type that reply, I hope whoever that was, I apologize if I muddied the waters for you. I hope this video maybe clears it up a little bit. But that's all I got, and I'll talk with you guys again soon.